So let's return to a pocket full of stars. Now this is the important. This has just arrived, the flyer. So I think we're going to be heading back into the dream and finding out all about this play and how significant it is to Aminah as a child. It's another piece of the puzzle. Let's go. Chapter 23. I'm Hannah. A confident girl in a glittery red headscarf announces, shaking Aminah's hand formally. I can't help but giggle as she kisses her on both cheeks, like they're grown-ups. Even though she looks about our age, her Arabic is much more pronounced than the others, whose accents have a slight American lilt to them. The other girl, Ibsim, introduces herself next, much more casually than her friend. But you can call me Ib, she says, grinning at Aminah. Hannah waves her hand dismissively. I prefer Ibsim. It has more to it, don't you think? I guess so, Aminah agrees, her eyes darting between the two, clearly unsure which one to appease. Ib laughs. Thanks, Hannah, for telling me how to pronounce my own name. She rolls her eyes, though her voice is affectionate. Once the introductions are done, Rowan clears her throat. So are we ready for our first rehearsal? All three girls nod in unison. I should start by explaining to Aminah why we picked Rapunzel, Rowan says. Because Hannah makes a really good witch, Ib grins, turning to Aminah. You'll see. Hannah glares at her, then turns to Aminah too. She's right, I do, so don't cross me. But also, Rowan interjects, I think fairy tales are just magical, and they teach us about life. Rapunzel has to fend for herself, and she realises there's so much more to the world than she first imagined. Everyone falls silent for a moment, and the only sound is an orchestra of grasshoppers playing into the night. But then Hannah waves her hands like a bossy wizard casting a spell. Right, let's begin. The moon and stars shine bright and the air is warm as Aminah, Rowan and the others rehearse their scenes. Each of them holds a flashlight that they shine on their scripts while they recite the lines. As the girls act out the scenes, something spectacular happens. The silver branches in bloom with dozens of yellow flowers now sliver down from the wall and onto the sand. The branches rise up, circling around the troupe, until they resemble a tall tower in the middle of a forest clearing, like a theatre set made entirely of wood. I know this is all part of Mum's imagination, filling in the gaps with wonder and magic. Hannah enters the set as the witch and Rowan helps Aminah through her lines before taking up her role as the prince. From her bag, she pulls a very real string of beautifully patterned materials, all tied together, which Aminah plaits into her hair. She throws it down for Rowan to climb. The branches transition seamlessly every time the scene changes. Their silver light shines down on the girls, making them glow, though this part of the play exists only for my eyes. This world in Mum's mind is filled with her memories, but they're different. When I think back to some of the best and worst moments of my life, I don't really imagine them how they happened. I imagine them a bit different, more magical. Like the time I went to a birthday party at the local swimming pool. We were all mermaids chased by a deadly shark. Then we were pirates searching for lost treasure. Mum's memory is a little like that. And this one is the most magical one I've experienced so far. Like it's extra special. Then comes a scene where the witch finds out Rapunzel has been meeting with the prince. In this version, she tells her she will never ever leave, but she's going to lock her up and throw away the key. And I can't help but think about Mum at the top of the house, trapped behind her bedroom door. All I want to do is unlock it and free her. All I want is for her to wake up. The branches shine silver still, but an inky black courses through them like veins, and they look entirely alive. I reach out and they feel like the slimy skin of a frog. The witch pulls Mum to the darkest corner and drags her into a room in the great big tower. The memory makes it look all too real, and I run to stop the witch. Stop it! I call, trying to pull her away from Mum. The witch does what I say, like she'd heard me. She turns facing me, and for one moment my heart freezes. But then she looks upwards, beyond the wall, frowning. What was that? She says, and she's no longer the witch anymore, and they're no longer in the tower. Just a twig, Ra-on says dismissively. Aminah doesn't seem so sure. She's staring at the wall as if she can see through the concrete. Before I can watch the end of the play, the memory starts to disappear, like a great fog has clouded over it. I'm back at Mum's bedside again, surrounded by silver branches. Right now, they're shaped like a giant hand. Its gnarled fingers wrap around Mum and me as we sit in its palm, protecting us from harm. Short chapter, really interesting, and I really like the idea that we're going into Aminah's mind and we're seeing it how Aminah remembers it. So rather than pretending to be in a tower, they actually were in a tower because that's how Aminah's childhood memory remembers it. Really interesting. Let's go forth and see how this carries on. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing her meet up with Elle and the girls again after she took the stand against them and their bullying in McDonald's. Let's hope we get some of that, right? Hold that thought.